Hello everyone, I'm Rodrigo Durão, and this is what's happening in Brazil. We start by updating you on the latest news from the country. The landless workers' movement stepped up the pressure on the government for land reform. The movement sees Women's Day to speed up occupations and acts for land reform in 24 states across the country. In Espírito Santo, about 1,000 women occupied an area of Company Suzano, which is the world's biggest pulp producer and one of the leading Latin American paper companies. The goal is to shed light on the environmental damage caused by the monoculture. President Lula ratified on Friday more than 12,000 plots of land of the agrarian reform for families in 24 Brazilian states. The ceremony took place at the Quilombo Campo Grande in Minas Gerais state. The movement recognized the importance of the act, but it does not solve the problem, as the number contemplates less than 8% of the families currently camping across the country. Workers' associations are campaigning for the end of a 6-to-1 workload without any pay cuts. The subject is being discussed right now by lawmakers. According to the entities, the main goal is to spread awareness of the issue by the word of mouth to raise the profile of the debate. Last year there was a drop in the agriculture and livestock production compared to 2023. Official data blames the climate change due to drought. Soy production dropped by 4.6% and the corn farming was reduced by more than 12%. In the month the world celebrates International Women's Day, the story of the week will present the leading role of women in the fight for decent housing. In Porto Alegre, the capital of Rio Grande do Sul state, 40 families will soon have houses after almost 2 decades fighting to get them. They are part of the women's-led November 20 settlement.
The dream of having a decent house has never been so close for the friends Ni and Edis. The two women lead a cooperative formed by the residents of the November 20th settlement. After 18 years since the building, abandoned 5 decades ago, was occupied, the cooperative won the right to give the building a social use. Now under renovation, the building will house 40 low-income families near the center area of Porto Alegre. Seniriane Vargas da Silva, nicknamed Ni, has been part of the settlement since it began in 2006.
We faced evictions, removals during the World Cup Brazil hosted. Then there was a coup followed by a genocidal government, a pandemic and the flood. That's too much for a group of low-income people, the majority of whom are women, and women who are steadfast and very persistent to finally reach this moment, when we'll start the building renovation work.
The contract with the Federal Savings Bank was signed in October 2024. The families left the occupied building for the start of the renovation and will pay the financing through the My House, My Family federal program. The expectation now is for the funds to be released. This is the first renovation under the program that will be carried out by the residents themselves.
That's why all these feelings emerge. Each wall, each place has a story. More than a house, this place we are building means a new story. We intend to build a new country, one that understands that people must live a dignified life in decent housing.
The housing project has a feminist outlook. It was designed by women from the company Arquitetura Humana, Human Architecture in English, in dialogue with the families who dreamed of a sustainable low-income housing project focused on caring for people. The building will have solar energy, a cistern, a community garden, a library, a small square, and a cultural space, as well as a sewing room where women can work and generate income.
We care about protection, the generation of work and income. There are seamstresses living in the building who have worked hard and continue to work. We developed a biosanitary pad, for example. We teach people throughout Brazil how to make it, because for us, knowledge is not ours alone.
The two leaders stressed the importance of housing policies aimed at women. Data from the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics show that the housing deficit in the country mainly affects mothers, 60% of whom are black and most of whom live below the poverty line.
A luta pela moradia acaba sendo uma luta.
The struggle for housing ultimately becomes a female struggle because many women find the occupation of abandoned buildings a way of escaping violence. That's a very sad reality. The relationship between the housing deficit and domestic violence. For many women, the only way out is to take their children and live in a squat. And this is a very concrete reality for us as a movement.
A habitação é uma pauta do movimento.
Housing is also a demand of the Black movement. People who know Brazilian history know that those who don't have land, those who never had properties, are Black people.
They mention the role of social movements in the fight for housing, fighting to build a different world, as a counterpoint to the exclusion that has taken over cities in recent years.
E a gente tem uma frase de luta.
We have a motto that says, "When living is a privilege, occupying is a right." We're in a city where that phrase makes a lot of sense, where living is a privilege.
Eu imagino assim que quando isso aqui tiver
I think that when it is concluded, we will be so happy, because it's not just about having a house. We want a different world, and this building will be a little piece of this different world we dream of.
In today's Culture Talk, you will get to know the weekly family farming fair that takes place at the Federal University of Pará, northern Brazil. In 2025, it celebrates its 10th anniversary, bringing organic products to the academic community and the general public as well, as typical foods and fruits from the region.
On the banks of the Tucunduba River and the Guamá River in Belém, Parás capital, an activity that unites the countryside, urban areas, and the forest has been transforming the lives of small rural farmers. The Family Farming Fair at the Federal University of Pará. Held on Thursdays, it has been going on for 10 years and has a loyal clientele which grows with each edition.
It was like this. Since we are a university restaurant, we had to purchase at least 30% of the food from family farmers. We launched a licitation issuance to choose suppliers. However, the demand was very high and not everyone met the legal requirements. So we got to know their contexts as small farmers, the lack of opportunities because they were considered invisible. That's when we proposed to set up a fair.
And that's how the partnership between the university and family farmers was born. The first provided the latter with regular technical training. Among the subjects discussed were the management of fruit trees, vegetable cultivation, processing of products, healthcare, and also marketing strategies. The training was a huge contribution to improving the quality of life and image of these farmers.
It was very important because we used to sell to a middleman. That is, our payment never corresponded to the prices on market shelves. It used to be half or less. Today, I supply with food several schools near Guamá, Jurunas, so it was a door that opened to us. We also managed to send seeds to other states, together with another friend, such as Jambu seeds. Everything started here because of the training we are having, the things we are learning.
Organic food production is one of the criteria for taking part in the fair, which has a long list of farmers interested in joining the project. The limit, however, is the physical structure of the venue, which still can't accommodate all the family farmers who want to be part of it. Currently, the fair benefits 59 families. The project has trained around 140 farmers who hold weekly family farming fairs in 4 other nearby towns.
É o que vai fazer mal para nós e para quem vai consumir.
We don't rely on poison or other things that could harm us or consumers. We only use natural insecticides we make with tucupi, neem, pepper, and other ingredients, which don't even kill caterpillars or crickets. It just drives them away, and over time they return because they are beneficial to us.
For most participants, the fair is their main income source.
É só daqui que sai a minha renda, eu não trabalho em outro canto, só.
All my income comes from the fair, where I sell traditional food every Thursday. 4 employees work with me at the fair. In the ranch, the whole family works together.
Did you like the show? So hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and receive notifications. We will see you next week.